Everybody loves free, and free video games are no different, but free games can be extremely hit or miss. Some of them are really great, super wallet friendly, while others, they're super predatory and definitely not worth your time. But in the video today, welcome to the channel, everybody. Chaos here. I'm going to try to make things simple for you. Today, we're going to check out my picks for the 10 best free video games of 2024. And I'm going to do my best to keep things balanced between the gameplay and the business model. That's in terms of whether or not I would recommend them to you. So you let me know in the comments which free games you think are worth playing in 2024. Drop a like on the video, and we kick things off with World of Tanks. It's funny because I just posted a video on Twitter of a guy that made his own real tank simulator, like a real tank in his garage. He drops down in it, and he has a buddy that loads soda bottles, 2 liters, as their ammunition. It's pretty crazy. You've probably heard of a ton of YouTubers promoting this game. I think we have in the past as well, but it's a rare case of an over-marketed game that actually is good, has a very good reputation with its community. World of Tanks is a vehicular combat game where you control a whole bunch of tanks, obviously, several different time periods. You try to dominate the battlefield in lobbies of up to 30 players. World of Tanks has been praised for the system, the combat system, the controls, and it offers a lot of content for free players, never really making you, as a player, feel like you're being forced to spend the money. Now, in case you don't believe me, the PC version of World of Tanks currently has an 84% approval rating on Steam, so give it a try. PC, console, mobile, doesn't matter. It's a pretty fun one. At number 9, Warframe. Now, Warframe is often called the most underrated looter shooter on the market, and I think I agree. Developed by Digital Extremes, released in 2013, it features pretty cool third-person shooting, amazing visuals, has a gameplay structure and loop similar to, I would say, Destiny, where you take a ton of PvE challenges either by yourself or with buddies while you level up your character, you unlock new gear, you try to create the ultimate warrior, that's you. The concept for Warframe actually dates all the way back to the year 2000. But it was delayed time and time again. Even when it was first released in 2013, it took a few updates for the true vision to finally shine through. But now that we're in 2024, there have been more updates than I can count. It's a fantastic game. If you've been looking for an addictive looter shooter experience, it doesn't demand a lot of money from your wallet, give it a try. Plus, crossplay was added in 2022, so you can play with your buddies regardless of what platform you are on. At number 8, Call of Duty Mobile, COD Mobile. Call of Duty's core multiplayer experience has been extremely up and down over the last few decades, and I think a lot of us longtime fans would argue that things peaked back in the Xbox 360 era. There have been some bright spots, though, since then, but it's hard to argue that the last 4 to 5 Call of Duty games have had the same sauce that the classic titles did. But with that being said, COD Mobile. Nice breath of fresh air that does a really good job at recapturing some of those old school arcade fun moments, and it's also nice that most of the guns and maps are remakes from classic titles. It's completely free to play. The business model is actually pretty fair, even if the cosmetics can be expensive. If you can practice self-control with the cosmetics, it's a good download. And there's always ways to get it up and running on your PC if you don't really want to deal with an FPS on a phone screen. At number 7, Path of Exile. If you are a fan of games like Diablo, this is for you. Path of Exile was released in 2013 on the PC. It was later ported to consoles a few years later and is currently a sequel in development that should be dropping, honestly, very soon. It's a dark fantasy action RPG, top-down point of view with a very, very hardcore structure. Not going to be the kind of game that you pick up and instantly understand. However, the gameplay is deep, it's addicting, and you'll enjoy the grind to finally understand what everything means and wrap your head around the lore, which is extremely well thought out and fleshed out. If you're a fan of top-down clicker action RPGs like Diablo, give Path of Exile a try. And since it's completely free to play, there's no reason not to. I suppose you could also wait until Path of Exile 2 drops, but then again, if you're planning on trying the sequel, you might as well get some hours in on the original. At number 6, Fortnite. Fortnite's quality has gone up and down pretty dramatically over the years, but if you're just looking for a free-to-play game with a ton of content and gameplay opportunities, I mean, let's be real with each other. It's hard to find something more jam-packed than this game. The main game mode is the Battle Royale mode, but now there's also the huge market of custom matches and maps. It adds almost infinite amounts of content to the mix, and all of it can be accessed without ever spending a penny. It's the only thing you can spend money on is skins, right? Skins. Some have gotten frustrated with Fortnite's radically changing gameplay over the years, but honestly, I think it keeps things fresh. While the quality may go up and down, if you just wait a few months, then you may end up with something you enjoy more. And since you never actually have to pay for anything, it's really hard to argue against at least downloading it and giving it a try. And I'm sure all of you have tried it at least once by now. It gets a lot of hate, and a lot of hate is justified. But it's still one of the best free-to-play games around in 2024. I'll take the dislikes for saying it because it's true. Now we arrive at the top 5. War Thunder. It's a vehicular combat game with a pretty impressive amount of content and attention to detail put into the combat system. You can control tons of military vehicles from a bunch of different countries all throughout history, which makes it a great download for all you military history buffs. And the damage system is pretty detailed. It allows you to bust up specific parts of somebody's vehicle and let that slowly bring down the entire machine from the inside. Plus, it's available on PC, console, mobile devices, crossplay between all the different platforms, which makes it great for playing with your friends. Hilariously, the War Thunder community also has a knack for leaking confidential in real-life military documents on their forums, which never fails to be a hilarious time for everybody. Yeah, there have been controversies with the business model over the years, but the game is in a decent place right now. It's worth a shot if you're looking for that type of game, and it's free. At number 4, Dota 2 started out as a mod for Warcraft 3, but after Valve took the reins and released the standalone version, it was off to the races. Dota 2 is considered by many to be the best MOBA ever made. It's still one of the biggest esports in the world due to the insanely deep gameplay mechanics. This is not the kind of game for you if you are not willing to get super competitive, but if you are willing to take that mindset, it's one of the best games ever made. Plus, the business model, it's super consumer friendly, and you'll have access to basically all the content right out of the gate without ever having to spend $1. Dota 2 has been one of the most popular PC games in the world for over a decade, and it's not slowing down at all. Give it a shot if you're looking for a new competitive game to play, but you don't want to break your wallet. At number 3, League of Legends. Riot Games is one of the most consistent developers in the industry. They don't release new games very often, but when they do, they knock it out of the park, and their dominance all started with League of Legends. Launched back in 2009. This MOBA was heavily inspired by Dota 2, and a lot of people initially wrote it off as just a Dota 2 clone, but it has since established its own personality because of the characters, the world, the gameplay elements. It made it very easy to understand, but extremely difficult to master, which is also one of the reasons it's one of the most popular esports in the world for over a decade. When it comes to the business model, it has a lot of content for free-to-play players. You can easily get hundreds of hours worth of gameplay without ever paying a dime. There's a reason why this game has remained at the top. At number 2, Counter-Strike 2. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Launched in 99, guys, as a mod for Half-Life. Then it had its first standalone release in 2000. Since then, there have been a handful of new versions released by Valve, but the gameplay, it's virtually unchanged since day one, and for good reason. 5v5 tactical shooter, all about communication, map knowledge, precise mouse placement, recoil control, but if you want to take the game that serious, there's a lot of casual content, alternate game modes, custom lobbies, surfing maps, more mods than you could ever count. It has an insane amount of content for both the casual and the competitive player alike, and it's almost completely free to play. The only things you'll spend money on the game are gun skins, other cosmetic items, none of which are necessary for you to enjoy the game. There's literally millions of people who are playing this game right now. It's without a doubt one of the best free-to-play games on the market. And at number 1 today, this puts a smile on my face to put it here, Team Fortress 2. I don't know about you guys. I love seeing this game do as well as it has for 2 decades, 20 years. Launched in 2007. Now, there may have been some criticism over the lack of updates, but you can't argue with how fun the core gameplay loop is and how iconic the characters and art style have become. It's one of the most influential first-person shooters of all time, and it's still going strong to this day on the PC. If you're a fan of hero shooters, you have TF2 to thank for basically inventing the modern hero shooter formula. Even if you don't like hero shooters, you should give TF2 a try because you never know. Compared to more modern hero shooters like Overwatch or Paladins, it's more chaotic, it's goofy, but it's also more strategic in some ways. I sometimes see people write the game off as archaic or bland compared to other hero shooters that came after it, but I disagree. It's a fantastic game, unique gameplay loop that anybody can understand, but that also takes a lot of time to master, so give it a download on Steam. If you haven't already fallen in love with it, try it out. Remember, the game came out in 2007. There's a 100% chance that your computer can run it. And there you have it, my friends. Those are the 10 best free games in 2024. Let me know one free offering that we forgot to put on the list, and I'll see you soon.